what does it look like to have Christ in us? It's such a mystical idea, but it's also a biblical reality. It's something that we have to deal with. What actually does it mean? What does it look like to have Christ in us? And what does it mean to be the hope of glory? If Christ in us is the hope of glory, then how come the world seems so hopeless to so many when there's so many Christians out there? What does it look like to have Christ in us as the hope of glory?
So Eliana, where is Jesus? Where does he live?
He lives in heaven.
He lives in heaven?
Yes.
Is there anywhere else he might live?
In our heart.
He lives in our heart and in heaven? How does that happen? How does he live in both places?
Because he has two bodies. Because God is Jesus and Jesus is God.
Oh. It's not because, is heaven in our heart sometimes or no?
Yes.
It is?
When we embrace a Christian as a family member in our hearts, there's this beautiful joy that comes from, I think it comes from the heart of our Heavenly Father. The same way I get so excited and thankful and so full of joy when I see my boys loving each other, when I see them embracing each other in their hearts, not fighting each other, but encouraging one another and listening to each other's differences. I love that. How much more does God love it? I don't know. I feel like I can feel that joy in my heart when we embrace. But then when we physically embrace, it's like this picture of what happens, of what union is. It's a picture of what happens when we embrace each other in our hearts. We hug, we embrace. It's a heart-to-heart moment. And this is a beautiful moment. When we ask this question of what does it look like to have Christ in us as the hope of glory, we have to be able to ask ourselves, do we see Christ in the people around us? Do we embrace our brothers as if we're embracing the Christ in them? And if we're not, why not? And if we do, shouldn't that be a picture of what it means to be one with Christ, of what it means to have Christ in us, the hope of glory? Hi, Bill.
Hi, Lacey.
So I just want to introduce you to the people that are watching these videos because Bill I met him like 3 years ago almost or something like that. And it was at a time when I was really obsessed with heaven. And I still sort of am a little obsessed with heaven.
It's not a bad thing to be obsessed with.
Well, I think C.S. Lewis says that those who make the most of this life are the ones who think the most about the next, or something like that. Is that a quote? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if I did that right. Anyway, so the thing.
We're gonna go with it. That sounds good.
Well, I think it's sort of. It means like it's important, and that's what you were saying.
Yeah.
That it's not a bad thing, right?
It's a good thing.
Well, the thing is, I think it can be. Like, I was totally obsessed with it in this kind of way that was annoying my husband. He's like, can you just go to sleep and not watch any more heaven videos? Now, I don't recommend you watching heaven videos on YouTube necessarily, especially if you're not like really like into the scriptures, because there's some crazy stuff out there and it can be really confusing and not do the opposite of what you're going for, which is we get hungry, right? For heaven, home. We get homesick.
We long for the world that we are a part of and originated of. We belong there, but we are there, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, I think, a little bit.
Well, I heard Brian Head Wells say one time, which I don't know where he got it from, but I heard him say that, for God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him will not perish but have everlasting life. And then he says, everlasting life doesn't start when you die, it starts right now.
Yeah.
It's already now.
Yeah, eternity has already begun.
Right.
It's already begun for us.
Yeah.
I don't think Jesus died to get you into heaven. I think he died in blood to get heaven into you, to get heaven into us.